What's up, guys? So today in this video we're going to be going over Jake Gyllenhaal's physique transformation for the movie he did not too recently. Yeah, it was actually a year ago, Roadhouse. And we're going to be going over his workout routine, what his trainer set him up with to get him to look as jacked as he does in the movie with Conor McGregor. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the video. Oh, start it up. Let's see what Jake Gyllenhaal's got. Here we can see him working out. Oof. This guy's saying he's training seriously. Look at that physique. Alright, here we got some explosive work.
Coming to you from my studio Rise Movement in Los Angeles, California, and talk to you about
Jake
Gyllenhaal and the training that we did for Roadhouse.
When I received the news that Jay got the role for Roadhouse, I was eager to sit down with him and get his vision and expectations.
What we're doing is real.
Yeah, look at your stomach.
Never been done before. It's real. Don't mess around.
Guy's training abs for sure.
Do this at home.
I spoke with the stunt team to understand their needs. I spoke with the director and producer to understand their expectations.
Smart trainer.
Not only did Jake need aesthetics, but needed to perform stunts across from Conor McGregor, a professional athlete in the UFC, who has also never performed stunts on screen.
That's a challenge.
Looks like you're having a
So Jake needed athleticism, resiliency, and overall strength. This would also
include
the mind and mentality he would need to get up after a fall, a potential punch, or a kick.
I got a tip for you. Don't let no one get this close.
After taking all of this into consideration, I then had to
Conor
sit down and
McGregor,
build a
close to be
program that
scary.
would ultimately build the foundation of the Dalton character.
Generally,
that's the name of the carriage in the movie.
Session, moving, trying to get the core body to mature up.
Very important. Most people skip mobility drills. It's very important to stretch, warm up,
Great tool to help,
especially for actors. He's got to be very, very flexible. It's hard to be moving around like that in the movie if
Proteus is an amazing
trained before.
Used mostly by performance centers to help train athletes in every plane of motion and also to help increase power production. We use it primarily for priming the nervous system, proprioception,
probably also hard
patterns, and a lot for warming up joints.
Looks like weighted punching. Never seen a machine like this before, so I wouldn't know too much, but it looks like it's just some sort of weight to add to his punches to add some resistance to it, which is what a lot of professional athletes use. We've seen Mayweather and all those people. Shadow boxing to get a good idea. There he says shadow boxing is good too. He gets an idea of all the movements that these athletes do if he's trying to play an athlete.
Isometrics are a staple here at Rise Movement. We use them all the
work
time
on
to
acting.
help increase strength and stamina at different joint angles.
Work like they do to act like they do. This is a lot of holding.
Most of the sets that we do are time
movements.
sets. We try to keep his work capacity up, keep him moving, keep him sweating, keep burning fat. We still want the heavy stimulus, so we do a lot of heavy sled work.
You don't really burn much fat through training, but you do build muscle, which will then, with your diet, help you burn fat in the future. But it's not just like I do a certain amount of workout, burn a certain amount of fat.
Stress, adapt, recover,
Adjust my
on
camera. I
repeat
think
for
my
well
camera's
over
off.
a year. That's discipline. That's patience. That's commitment.
I'm sitting in
That is super
I feel
difficult.
a lot of gratitude, but
That is horrible.
I know that's a crazy thing to say.
If anyone's
Jake
been in
went
an ice
into this
bath,
movie
it's not
full
fun.
of obligation, honor, duty, to follow in Patrick's footsteps. It was incredible to watch.
That's the
Incredible to see
original
him
one.
morph into his character.
And the remake.
We always keep the heavy primitive work one way, shape, or form, whether it's squats or deadlifts, and the variations thereof. We want to keep
I
the
love
muscle
those types
coordination
of
at a high.
squats. He's got someone spotting him, or at least looking after him, making sure he doesn't overdo it.
Grip work is essential as
I have one of
one of
those.
the limiting factors in the gym.
People
we
do
pepper
that.
in various exercises to keep grip tight.
I have one of those little machine things to help with forearm grip. It's useful, but you can get one non-machine version where it's just like this stick thing and you gotta rotate it. That's what I have. I can stick it onto my
Here we
machine,
see
but I
some
have
examples more
detachable
relatable to
version.
MMA training, keeping the body in check with offset loading, and movements more imperative to sport.
That's very similar. Lunges help build strength for like if you're shooting in MMA or in any type of fighting sport. We like wrestling, they shoot under the person, So they like his shooting is like a dive. He's probably working on
It's important
movements
to keep
similar
the
to that.
stimuli broad with variations of reps, sets, loads, and different tempos.
The Swiss lift. Never seen a bar quite like that one. Very interesting. But it's pretty much just the bench press.
The diet part of this is really critical for maintaining and looking a certain
It's probably
way.
the most
It's not
critical.
something that's sustainable, but it can be done with the right people in place. There's a big team that helped get us through this. The peri-workout nutrition from Biotest, the Surge, really kept us going, gave us the fuel that we needed for these workouts, and the post-workout nutrition from Rise 311 Protein that started in the kitchen and ended up being a great product, so we got it out there.
Very good. High
You
protein.
can have a great trainer,
Gotta get
great
protein
program,
powder,
great
supplements.
team.
Creatine is also a
None
good
of this
supplement.
matters if you don't have the right
Chain
person
work
to do
is
it all.
makes it
Jake
heavier
did the work.
as you finish.
He earned it. He
Since the
deserves
weight
it.
gets heavier,
I
as
respect
more
that.
weight is lifted by the body and less by gravity, getting held on the floor. So that's how
Lateral
chains
loading
work.
is very important to all sports, especially to MMA fight training. These come in various forms, but this is one of my favorites.
It's a real interesting workout. Explosive power is very important, although I've never quite seen a workout like this one. He's training back and
We
he's
keep
also
things in
training
balance
his
with push-pull
delts.
rips.
But if he has to be doing, yeah, he has to be doing it both sides. Although I don't get why. I hope he's doing it both sides on the same type of workout, because if he's switching machines, I mean, might be training similar muscle groups, but it's better to stay on the same workout. Maybe
Followed by
his
my
trainer just
favorite,
does this to keep
some
him
primitive
entertained,
climbing
keep him
sprints,
stuck
finish him
on it.
off.
Consistency is what's most important, so if it helps with consistency, then it's well worth it. That builds explosive strength. Not gonna get much cardio in 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but explosive strength for sure.
This is Jake and I right before the UFC weigh-in in Las Vegas. Taking a little bit of sugar, get a lot of reps in, push-ups, sit-ups, and voila. The muscles swell up and look full.
Yep, that's called pumping.
I worked
If you
with
guys
Jake
don't
for
know
years
that,
prior. I
when
knew he
you
had
do a
what it was
workout,
going
your
to take
muscles
to make this
inflate.
man work.
They inflate by quite a
The amount
lot.
of dedication, discipline, consistency,
So
and
he's
hard
gotta
work,
work out
and mental
right
fortitude,
before
the
the
level of patience it
the
would take.
shooting
Unless you've trained
of the
like
video.
this, you just don't understand.
We should make him look
To
much
take the long
bigger
road, to take the hard road, to
than
take
what
the
he
high
actually
road,
looks.
to do this clean,
Often
no
when they're doing
shortcuts.
videos and posts,
But
they
what
do
you
that.
earn,
They proper lighting.
gain along the
It's kind of
way
hard
by taking
for
these
you to
roads
look
is
as
unlike
good as
anything
this guy
else.
all the
It's
time.
yours.
So he has
You
to
built
pump
it.
up.
You
This guy
earned
doesn't
it.
even look that good most of the time. He just has pumps up, plus with the consistent training, and he does look good. But it's mostly that specific movie, that specific scene. They really lock in on all the lighting and effects.
16, 17, 18,
And
19, 20.
sometimes they use visual effects too. Like if you guys have seen
Want the movie
Thor,
to be good, you know.
Hey guys,
that's
I hope this
one
was insightful
key
and gave you a little
demonstration
peek
of visual
behind the
effects
curtain
that they
of
use
how
in
we train
movies
Jake
to
the
enhance
Roadhouse. This is a very long
the actor.
process. Took well over a year from start to wrap.
Must have been
Thank
pretty
you so
hard.
much for joining us.
Well,
and
what I want you guys to take away from this is that consistency is the most important thing. This guy stayed consistent for a long period of time. A year is wild for you to stay that consistent with your diet and with your training. So the way this guy does. This guy also most likely had some PEDs to help him out. Most actors nowadays do. Very few actors don't. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But as I've only really seen, I'm not a super crazy fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. I haven't seen all of his other works. I can't say for sure if he has, because maybe he's always ripped and he's always been ripped. I have to do more detailed analysis. But don't expect for you to look like this, like on your first year of training. You're not gonna look like that in your first year of training. That's way too much. This guy's been consistent with professional diet, people diet plan to get him, his nutritionists, get him focused on what he needs for the movie, for aesthetics. If you guys saw my video on specificity, he's just purely focused on aesthetics with some mobility drills for the acting that he needs to do, along with having a professional trainer that knows exactly what muscle groups he needs to train to make him look as big as possible in the scenes. Like maybe he's training legs as much as he's training upper body, and they have everything pretty much perfect for this guy. You are not a professional actor, so you're not going to look like this guy that good that quick. So always have patience in training and realize that what you can achieve naturally is probably not going to be exactly like this, and prioritize health over looking at crazy, jacked, huge like that. And it's pretty easy to look, not easy, but if you train for a long time, it's pretty reliable to be able to get fairly lean, maybe almost as lean as this guy, maybe not as big as this guy, but almost as lean. If you follow a good diet plan and a good training plan for over a long period of years, definitely not in a year for most people, but eventually you guys get pretty solid physiques. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.